you'll be aware that the National Crime Agency and Sussex police officers have been on the scene here in Diplocks Way for a number of days now, and I wanted to give you an update on the work that has been happening here. Firstly, a recap of what has happened so far. On Saturday evening, officers from the NCA's Armed Operations Unit were deployed to this location in Hailsham as part of a live investigation. Officers heard loud bangs consistent with gunshots emanating from inside an industrial unit on the estate. The unit was an engineering workshop with signage outside showing it to be a gearbox repair business. As NCA officers moved in, 3 men exited the building and they were immediately arrested. One NCA officer had to discharge a taser to effect the arrest of one of the men. 2 handguns and a quantity of ammunition were recovered. As you know, those men were later charged with offences relating to the possession of firearms and have now been remanded in custody, appearing before a magistrate's court soon. The area around the industrial unit was then cordoned off, and NCA and Sussex police officers began a thorough forensic search of the site. That search has taken several days, but during that time we have found what we believe to be a sophisticated gun factory. We have found a range of machinery and components used in the criminal manufacture of firearms and ammunition. We have found what we suspect are a number of handguns in various stages of production, as well as templates and metal for use in their manufacture. Those are now being analysed by forensic experts to determine what category of firearm they fit into. We believe that the 2 weapons recovered on Saturday night have been made in this facility, and that the bangs heard inside here by NCA officers were likely to have been the discharging of those weapons. A quantity of ammunition has also been found. Our investigation into what was happening here continues. What I will say is that we believe we have disrupted a group involved in the criminal production of firearms, and as a result we have prevented a potentially large quantity of weapons from getting into the hands of criminals and being used in violence on our streets. At this point, I should also recognise the superb support and assistance we've had from Sussex Police throughout this operation. Their contribution to this investigation has been and will continue to be crucial to its success. That's my statement. I'm ready to take some questions if you have any.
How big an operation do you believe this was?
It's very difficult to determine that at the moment. The scale is significant. We've already seized up to about 30 firearms. We are still counting and we're still putting the evidence together, but it is significant.
Was this an operation that your officers were actually following already, or did it sort of happen that the noises were heard?
The investigation had commenced already. I can't give you the details at this time in terms of the history of that investigation.
Is there anyone else you're looking for a connection with this?
We will go through the evidence that we've seized and what we've got thus far, so this is not the end of the investigation. It will continue from this point.
Are there other locations that you're searching or expecting to search?
We have searched other locations, but I cannot give you the details of those locations at this time.
How lucrative an operation would this be? Is this sort of quite big business? Have they been making quite a bit of money by some reason?
Firearms can be sold for various different amounts on the black market. It's difficult to know at this stage how much money they were actually getting for their firearms, and unfortunately we do not know at this time how long they've been in production.
And this is a very sort of rural area that we're in. Did it come as a surprise to your officers to find this here?
At the end of the day, firearms can be produced anywhere, and industrial units are always those sort of places that have that ability to produce. So not a surprise in that respect, but I'm sure it will be for the residents of the town.
And these are working firearms that could have killed people?
Indeed, yes.
How much ammunition do you think you've found so far?
We have found a large quantity. I cannot go into the details of just how much, but as well as the firearms manufacturer, they were also supplying and manufacturing rounds of ammunition.
Would it be sent around the country or even abroad?
Indeed, that's quite feasible.
Can you describe the process that was being used, the materials that were being used?
So we had a quantity of metals, we had blueprints as described in the statement, and those were being fitted together and placed together within that premises behind me.
And are those blueprints easily available and obtainable on the internet, for example, or have they?
These
had to
particular
go-
blueprints, I can't comment on that, but there are blueprints available, I'm sure, on the internet, yes.
Do you know if any of the firearms or any of the firearms that have been used in any other criminal activity?
Again, that will be subject of our investigation. It's an important question to ask, and it's an important question that we will be asking, and we'll be working with partners to identify if those weapons have actually been used in other criminal offences around the country and also internationally.
How rare is it for them to actually be sort of physically built rather than just sort of bought and sold?
It's rare. It has happened, and it does happen, but normally the production of these weapons is on a small scale, not on the scale of what we have seen over this last few days.
Were any officers hurt on Saturday night?
Say that again,
Were
sorry.
any officers hurt on Saturday night?
We did have an officer hurt, yes. I can't go into the detail of that, but it's not serious.
Can you say anything about what kind of firearms? Are they handguns?
Yes, they're all handguns this far.
When they was found being heard, was it effectively they were being tested or they were being used as a weapon as such?
We believe they were being tested, yes.
Right.
There's certainly no injured persons within the premises, and it was on the result of hearing those gunshots that our officers have decided to take the action they have outside the premises.
And was it a neighbour that called the police or something?
No, it wasn't. No, it's part of the investigation.
How unusual is it to find a factory like this producing from blueprints? Do you know?
Extremely rare. I can't tell you how many times that might have happened this far. I dare say it has previously, but certainly to my knowledge, it's extremely rare.
And are you worried about the number of weapons that may have got into public hands following this production? I mean, you found weapons, but presumably you're worried that there may have been some that have made it into the...
Yeah, the problem we have at the moment is determining just how long these people have been involved with this and how long they have been producing these weapons. And I think our analysis of the weapons and the sieges that are being made will determine that. We'll be able to find out whether they have been used in other offences. So that will obviously be coming out within part of the investigation.
And presumably it could have been very dangerous for them as well in manufacturing them in
Indeed.
a setting like this.
Yeah, absolutely, because of course they are not, to my knowledge, qualified professionals in actually making these things.
Can you say anything about the background of the people?
At this time, I unfortunately can't, as part of the investigation now.
Can you just qualify the numbers for us as well? Because I know in the PA copy they said 2 handguns and ammunition. Are you
So
saying 30?
handguns were found in possession of the subjects when they've emerged from the premises, but upwards of 30 weapons have been discovered within the actual premises.
Perfect.
Okay.
Ross. Thank you. Thank you so much for waiting.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
We do
It's all
the
right.
same.